So I wanted to let you know, I almost have my Mother's Day plan set.
Okay.
And so you're going to be seeing some charges
All right.
hitting, the account. I'll probably say another week. I should finalize everything. And
Sure.
you'll start seeing some charges.
Okay. We budgeted for it. We good?
Of course we're good.
Okay. Cool.
Of course we do everything in budget.
Sounds like a plan.
Although it wasn't always the case.
No?
You remember when we first got married and the heated discussions we would have about things like Mother's Days and birthdays and gifts and stuff for family and friends.
It was a little tense.
It was
at that time
hot like this tea.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about my mama, so you don't talk about my money or my mama.
I was not talking about your mama. Whoa.
Yeah,
whoa.
I know she coming at you.
Yeah, seriously.
But no, it was. We used to have heated fellowship about how much we're going to spend on Mother's Day, why, and what's fair, and
Well, I think the other aspect of it is that before we got married, we didn't really have deep dive conversations in terms of our approaches to gift giving.
No,
we didn't talk about it.
That includes, I guess, Mother's Day, birthdays, anniversaries,
weddings, baby showers, stuff that happens.
Life for friends. We kind of skipped. We skipped over that. Like we talked about our own budget, but because we have such a large community, we should have talked about how we budget for family and how we budget for friends, because that was a part of who we are. So that was I guess that was a blind spot.
It was a blind spot, and it caused some tense moments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially I think with things like Mother's Day, because there was this almost like, well, if you're going to do this for your mom, I got to do something.
Wait a minute, your voice got a little deeper. So was that? Are you saying that was me? That's what I was saying, because that's what it seems like, and that's okay. I'll take that. But yeah, absolutely. I did have a type of a fair thing, and I wanted to kind of set the threshold. And I get it. Like your mom was here, my mom was not, so that added a different element to the whole Mother's Day. So there were things that we just had to talk through, had to work through, and think. And what makes it difficult is when we try to do it close to the day.
That was the worst.
Yes. Yeah. This conversation needs to happen 30 days, possibly 60 days in advance before, because it's tense, and then it could be delays. And
well, that was the thing. I'd already, had plans and things set. I, purchased things, and then, just in passing, I would mention something to you, and then it's like, wait a minute, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the other element to it, and let me know, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but I think the other element to it is that made this particularly a pain point for us is that I'm an only child and you have five sisters. Yeah. And so that's another thing. It's like Mother's Day is on me. Like there's no one for me to partner with. You know what I mean? Like it's my show because I'm an only child.
That's true.
Whereas your sisters, you guys can pull together.
Right.
To make Mother's Day happen. So that was, I think, an adjustment for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coming from such a big family.
Right.
And always having basically help. You know what I mean? For anything regarding your mom. You know? And again, I'm her only child, so
and all in all, those type of dynamics, they just need to be talked through. Like some things you can't plan for. Like you don't know when your friend's going to have a baby or something like that. But Mother's Day, birthdays, that's one of those things that are recurring. They constantly happen same time, every year. So you should be able to kind of forecast for it and kind of plan for it.
That's another thing. Again, the difference with family sizes, right?
Okay.
You have 5 sisters. They have children.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of birthdays. So, having to come to terms like, are we doing presents for every birthday, milestone birthdays. What do we consider a milestone birthday?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Again, we didn't talk about it.
Sure.
And there were, I think, some expectations we both had for one another that were never articulated.
Right.
And unfortunately, when they did come out, it was kind of too late. We were already in the middle of it. You were already, sending money for something, you know what I mean? For your family member, I was spending money for something for a family member. I'm already purchasing.
Right.
And it caused all this. Yeah, it caused all this grief when it could have been avoided.
Yeah.
And also too, I think we've rubbed off on each other a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, I think some of my gift giving practices have impacted you in different ways, right?
Okay, yeah, I would say so.
And vice versa. And so, again, I think we would have gotten to this point. It's just, I think it would have been a lot less drama had we just actually talked about it.
Yeah, and the adjustments needed to be made. Like, okay, this is what I traditionally do. This is what you traditionally do. What are we going to do now?
Yeah.
And then the second piece of that is not throwing the spouse under the bus with the adjustment.
Yes.
So it's like,
huge.
Hey, Mom,
that's a huge point.
I wanted to take you to this, but Ray said we need to save. And it's just like, no,
that's wrong.
This is what we do. So, something changes. We're coming at this as a unified force versus, blaming the other person.
They didn't, they don't want to,
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This is what we used to do. Yeah. And just talking people through that adjustment, because it's not just an adjustment for us, but it's an adjustment for the people we love as well.
So it's not just about setting expectations with us as a couple, as a unit.
Right.
It's also level setting expectations for family and friends. So they understand, hey, this might be different now.
Correct.
And, here, just want to give you a heads up. It's nothing personal. We still love you.
Yeah. And then I guess the last piece, we can't do it all.
Truth.
We don't have unlimited capital. So it's just like, or unlimited cash. It's like we had and still have to pick and choose. What birthdays are we going to be able to do? What holidays are we going to be able to do? If travel is involved, like if there's a big milestone birthday, maybe, what are the pushes and takes, regarding, how to handle milestones versus, just your, there's just another birthday. Like, all right, well, it's a milestone. We're going to go big. We're going to go all out. Okay, well, what does that mean? We're not going to go all out on,
You gotta.
And those are conversations we have. So if somebody, say, if there was a newly married person, they came to you like, Tasha, how can I broach this with my spouse who has a big family? Like, what advice would you give them?
Well, one is, I think it's important to preface it with, hey, I love your family. You gotta, you know what I mean? I love your family.
Real.
Your family is my family.
Yeah, that's real.
And so I think you have to preface that first.
Yeah.
And then from there, just express, what your intentions are. Intentions are, I know we have financial goals. I know we have financial priorities.
Yeah. And
I want to make sure we understand, what our gift giving practice is going to be for your family, because your family, which is my family, is big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know we're going to have to set some boundaries in place. So I want to talk through that.
Yeah.
Life event, milestone by milestone. So
Correct.
Birthdays, when someone has a baby, when someone gets married, what's going to be our practice? What are we going to do?
Yeah.
And so we can be on the same page.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I have to do. Preface it with, I love your family. This is not me trying to shortchange them or be stingy towards them.
Yeah.
But I also love us and our financial future. And that's a priority.
Yeah.
So,
I love your family. I love us. And how are we going to proceed with that? So if you've been listening to this, you think it would be helpful for someone else, please like it, share it, and continue to follow us here at Naked and Rich.